Breaking. Love served. Coco Gauff's heartwarming break from tennis with boyfriend Jalen Sera. For months, the tennis world had watched Coco Gauff burn through tournaments like a comet. Bright, brilliant, and impossibly fast. Every match seemed to demand another piece of her. Every victory another sacrifice on the altar of expectation. The fans adored her. The critics dissected her. And the rankings rewarded her. Yet deep inside, hidden behind highlight reels and trophies, was a girl whose heartbeat had quietly begun to fall out of rhythm. And so, on a cool December morning, Coco Gauff made a decision no one in the tennis world saw coming. Not coaches, not commentators, not even her most loyal fans. She pressed pause, but she wasn't running away. She was running toward something. Or rather, someone. His name was Jalen Sera. Chapter 1. The Quiet Escape. The world first learned of Coco's sudden break when her team released a simple, gentle statement. Coco will be taking a short personal hiatus to rest and reset. The tennis world erupted with questions, theories, and whispered concerns. Was she injured? Was she overwhelmed? Was something wrong? Coco stayed silent. But Jalen knew everything. He was waiting for her at the airport that evening. Hoodie up, mask on, hands tucked into pockets, trying to look inconspicuous, but failing miserably. His 6 feet 3 inches frame stood out even in the dim arrivals hall. But Coco spotted him instantly. Her face lit up in a way no trophy had been able to illuminate for months. She ran straight into his arms. "Ready?" He whispered into her hair. "So, ready," she breathed. They slipped out into the night, leaving behind cameras, deadlines, and the never-ending roar of expectations. For the first time in a long time, Coco wasn't Coco the champion, the prodigy, the symbol of American tennis. She was just Coco, 19, hopeful, exhausted, and in love. Chapter 2. The Hidden Island. Jalen had chosen the destination. A hidden eco-resort on a quiet Philippine island where the sand shimmered like crushed pearls and the ocean sang in shades of turquoise. They arrived just before sunrise. Coco stepped barefoot onto the balcony of their small villa, her curls messy from sleep, her eyes struggling to believe what she was seeing. For the first time, the horizon looked endless rather than intimidating. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "It's yours," Jalen said softly, "for as long as you need." The first day was spent in silence, not awkward silence, but the healing kind. They walked along the shore, letting waves nip at their ankles. Coco collected tiny shells, laughing at one shaped like spirals or tiny trumpets. Jalen filmed her on his phone, not for social media, but simply because he wanted to remember her like this, unguarded and weightless. In the afternoon, Coco napped on a hammock stretched between two palms while Jalen played guitar softly beside her. The melody, sweet and unpolished, lulled her deeper into sleep. For once, she didn't dream of tennis courts or missed shots. She dreamed of the sea. Chapter 3. The Confession. On the third night, under a sky littered with stars, Coco and Jalen sat by a small bonfire on the sand. She rested her head on his shoulder, her blanket slipping down her arms. "You know," she murmured, "I didn't realize how close I was to falling apart." Jalen didn't interrupt. He knew she needed the space to speak. "Everyone keeps telling me I'm strong, that I'm mature for my age, that I'm built for pressure. But sometimes," her voice cracked, "sometimes I just want to be a girl. Just a girl who laughs at dumb jokes and gets ice cream at midnight and sits by the ocean with someone who doesn't expect anything from her." Jalen turned to face her, gently lifting her chin so she would meet his eyes. "I don't want anything from you," he said gently. "I just want you. All of you, even the tired parts." Her eyes shimmered with tears, not of heartbreak, but of release. "Then hold my hand," she whispered. And he did. They sat like that for hours, the flames flickering between them, whispering their own quiet warmth. Chapter 4. Healing in Motion. The next day, Coco woke before dawn. For the first time in weeks, her body felt light. She slipped outside and began stretching on the soft sand. The motions felt foreign at first, as if her muscles were waking from a long sleep. Jalen appeared behind her with 2 coconuts in hand. "Training already?" he teased. "Not training," Coco smiled. "Just moving, because it feels good." He joined her, awkwardly, hilariously, trying to mimic her movements, when he failed spectacularly at a simple balance pose. Coco laughed so hard she doubled over. "You're terrible at this," she gasped. "I'm a basketball player," he protested. "We don't bend. We jump." "Then jump away from my yoga session," she joked. But he stayed with her anyway, making faces, stumbling dramatically, and doing everything he could to make her laugh. And she did deep, loud, joy-filled laughter that startled a group of nearby seagulls. Later they swam in the shallow lagoon, racing each other between patches of coral. Jalen won the first race. Coco won the next 3. When they collapsed onto the sand, breathless and dripping, he grinned at her. "There she is," he said softly. "Who?" "The Coco who smiles like the sun." Chapter 5, The Storm. That night a storm rolled in. The wind howled through the palms and rain battered against their villa roof like 1,000 tiny drums. Coco stood at the window, watching lightning braid itself across the sky. Jalen came up behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist. "You okay?" he asked. "MHM." But she wasn't. Storms had always reminded her of pressure, sudden, loud, unpredictable. She felt her heart begin to race. Jalen sensed it. "Talk to me," he whispered against her shoulder. Coco closed her eyes. "What if resting makes me weak?" she whispered. "What if people say I'm losing my edge? What if I can't compete the same when I go back?" Jalen turned her around to face him. "Rest isn't weakness. It's fuel. Even storms stop to breathe." He brushed her cheek. "And you don't belong to people's expectations. You belong to your own heart." The rain softened, as if listening. Coco rested her forehead against his chest. "You really believe that?" "I believe in you," he said simply. And in that moment, she believed him. Chapter 6, A Promise Under Sunrise. The storm cleared before dawn. Epilogue, Love Served. Weeks later, Coco returned to the court. Not desperate to prove anything, not pressured by invisible timelines, but grounded, peaceful, whole. Her shots were cleaner, her movement freer, her mind quieter. Commentators noted the change. Fans felt it. Her opponents sensed it. Jalen watched from the stands, his smile soft but proud. Every time Coco glanced his way, she saw not just a boyfriend, but the anchor who held her steady and the safe harbor she ran to when the waves grew too high. In the end, her break hadn't taken her away from tennis. It helped her find her way back. And so, the headline was right. Love was served, gently, quietly, and with healing force. But the Real story lived in the spaces between heartbeats, in the peaceful moments on a hidden beach, in shared laughter and whispered fears. It was a story of a girl learning to breathe again, of a champion rediscovering joy, of 2 hearts choosing each other, not in the spotlight, but in the quiet. And it was beautiful. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.